Hey everybody, welcome back to Unicycle School. I realize it's been a while, so hopefully you've had plenty of time to catch up on your homework. I spent a little bit of time trimming some fat off the skill tree, and today I'm going to be teaching you how to snap faster crank flips. This will help you land double flips, or even someday triples and quad flips. Part of the reason there was such a long break between these videos was that I bought a house, so I've got a place to put this nice collection now. Hopefully you've had time to finish all your homework, because one of the prerequisites for this trick is going to be obviously that you can crank flip pretty well. Oh, I mean, listen to that. That's what it's all about right there, that sound. Anyway, make sure your crank flips are extra crispy and dialed in before you move on. This tutorial is going to mostly center around a technique that we've talked about a little bit in the past. It's called a pivot, and it's going to be pivotal to your advancement as a fast flipper. In order to push above and beyond the single crank flip, you'll have to learn to generate what's known within the urban unicycling community as that big snap. Getting that big snap is easy. All you have to do is start seated and riding normally. Exactly 1/2 rev before you plan to flip this big trick, you're going to stand up. In the last half rev before the trick, you're going to power down with your entire body to compress your tire. You'll notice that I'm also turning my unicycle toward my front foot about 45 to 90 degrees. That's where the name pivot comes from.
Flight attendants, prepare for takeoff, please.
As soon as you feel that rebound from the tire, you want to pull up as hard as you can and begin kicking your crank flip. Your back foot should leave the pedal a fraction of a second before your front foot. In order to land this, you get to do what I call sticking your feet in the blender. You're just going to smash your feet back into the frame like you do on unispins or regular crank flips, and hopefully they've made it around. Now, while I'm talking to you about adding crank flips, it would be wrong of me to not mention the following rules of thumb. Rule of thumbs. Rules of thumbs? First things first, when we take off for this trick, our pedals will not be horizontal. You'll want your back foot a bit lower than your front foot in order to really load up the snap here. If you imagine this black bar being flat ground, then you can see my cranks are at like a 30-degree angle here. That is obviously 30 degrees Fahrenheit. Unfortunately, I don't know the conversion to Celsius. I'm not a scientist. The second thing to keep in mind is that to add more flips, you'll have to ride faster into the trick. The more forward momentum you have going in, the more upward momentum you'll be able to generate when you pop after your pivot. Like I said, I'm not a scientist, I think that's right. It's also going to be important to remember to kick your feet down and away from the pedals. Then, if you want to flip faster, you're just going to kick downer and awayer. When you're trying double flips for the first time, you might feel the temptation to pull your back foot upward instead of snapping down and out. And while it might be an intuitive way to clear that foot out of the way so your wheel can flip, there's no power there. This is going to hold you back in the long run, and you should avoid it at all costs. And you know what? Actually, I'm going to go a step further, and if you're a guy who double flips like this, we got beef. You're setting a bad example for the kids. Alright, just learn to snap. The other reason it's worth your while to learn to snap like this is that you can use this for any flip trick. Like say you've got your out flips dialed and you're looking to take it to the next level with an out double, you can do the pivot to get that extra snap. And I mean the exact same technique. Stand up a half rev out, pivot toward your front foot and compress your tire with your pedals not quite horizontal, kick down and away, and it's off to the races, my friend. When you get this technique dialed in, you can use it to add a flip to any other flip trick you know, which can really open a lot of doors for you and make riding super fun. Alright, your assignment this week is to use the pivot to try your very first double flips. If you're looking for a challenge, you can work on back flips. It's like a crank flip but in reverse. For this one, you're going to want your back foot to come up above your front foot to start the snap. It's like everything you know, but opposite. I could probably dedicate a whole video to backflips, so don't get frustrated trying it. But if you want a challenge, you know what? Just, go for it. See what happens.